Hello, y'all. This is Tiger from 106 Keep It a Bean. How's my 106 Keep It a Bean family doing out there, man? You know, I love chopping it up with you guys. You know, I love spending time with you. You know what we do here in 106 Keep It a Bean. We always keep it funky, and you know we're always going to keep it fresh, man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for another opportunity to have a therapy session that is much needed for me. You guys already know my situation. I need these, so I thank you, and I equally thank you for not charging me to have these therapy sessions. Uh, I have an exciting uh, episode today. Someone called me and said, "Can I talk about this?" And I said, "Sure." This is what I keep telling people. This is what 106 Keep It a Bean is about. It's a podcast of the people and for the people, and everyone has a voice, and everyone has a right to be heard. And it's a safe space to tell your truth, whatever that is. And so we're going to get into it in a moment. But before I do, I have to talk about uh, my upcoming interview. It's called Dear Black Man by Kara Washington. Please go out and purchase this book on Amazon. I did. It came in a couple days. Her and I are going to do an interview, man. Trust me, it's going to be a must see. This book, called Dear Black Man, it's a combination or collective collection of letters written by women to men. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but they're all true. So it's raw, it's real. Um, I'm telling you, I can't say much more about it other than go purchase it, man, and watch our interview by Carol Washington, Dear Black Man. Go get it. And also, there's letters in there written by men to the younger generation, uh, so they don't make the same mistakes that some of us did, some of us old cats did. So please go out and get it, Dear Black Man by Carol Washington. I'm definitely going to be interviewing her real soon, so look out for that. Let's get into this episode, man. Someone called me uh, last night or yesterday, or text me, and they said they wanted to talk about something that is dear to them, and I think this has been going on for centuries, so this is nothing new. Remember, the Bible tells us there's nothing new under the sun, so there isn't. Um, so let's just get into let's interview. Let's introduce her. I've known her for many years. She's a drug and alcohol counselor. She's a memory coordinator. She's an open book, uh, and she wants us to call her. You notice you don't see her on the screen. She doesn't want her face to be seen, not because she doesn't want anyone to know who she is. Sometimes when you're at work, you don't want to be seen doing certain things. The climate that we live in today. So we're going to call her Miss Non-Judgmental. So without further ado, this is Tiger from 106 Keeping It Being. I want to introduce Miss Non-Judgmental to the show. Hey, welcome.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So I do this with everyone, so there's no exception to you or with you. Uh, and just a couple of sentences, just kind of tell 106 Keep It a Being who you are. Like, who are you? Who's Miss Non-Judgmental?
Just that, Miss Non-Judgmental. I've been in every position in life, and I have been judged, and I have not been. So I take a middle standpoint on everything. Um, I'm just fair. I try to be fair. You know. Um, so yeah, that's just me in a
That's who you
nutshell.
are. That's who you
Um,
are.
I'm gonna
Uh,
adjust some things. So one moment. Hold on.
Gotcha. And real quick, for everybody who's just tuning in on Facebook or YouTube, please
Hold on.
comment. Please comment. We'll see them and we'll respond to them as you comment. And we thank you for your participation. Uh, so plug in, as I always say.
Okay. All right.
All right. So you told us a little bit of who Miss Non-Judgmental is. So the title of this episode is called Why Do Women, I'm sorry, Settle for Married Men,
Okay.
and Why Do Married Men Cheat? Uh, I'll say that again. Why do women settle for married men?
Mhm.
Why do married men cheat? So first of all, you know this topic or this issue has been going on for centuries. It's nothing new. Uh, but you texted me yesterday and you said you wanted to talk about this. Can you tell me why?
Well, upon we've been knowing each other and we were talking, and I said, okay, let's talk about it a little bit more because I want to know how everybody else feels, your audience.
Okay. They feel about what? Why do women settle for married men, and why do
And
men?
that goes both ways, you know what I mean? In the married world, why do women do what they do? Why do men do what they do? And why do men settle for it if you know that you're really not going to have her? And then why do women settle for it knowing that it'll never be theirs?
Yeah. That is $1 million question. So, but I have to ask you. You text me
Hold
this.
on, hold on, hold
All right.
on. Wait a minute. I'm trying to get a better location in here. Hold on. It's draining me. Hold on. I might have to pick it up. Hold on.
We hear you. Oh,
Hold on.
take your time. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
This is
Hold on.
106. Keep it a B.
Get to my charger. Hold on.
Hey guys, while we're waiting for her to get herself situated, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for plugging in. Thank you for the few people who subscribed lately. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, I keep saying it's free to subscribe. Just punch in 106, keep it a being. You'll see my handsome face. Hit subscribe. Uh, Hold on, guys. Hello? Hello? Okay, hold on. All right. All right. All right. Hold on, guys. It looks like her phone died, so she's going to have to call me. She's going to have to redo this from another phone, so give me a few moments. Again, Dear Black Man, go out and purchase it. I'm sorry you can't really see it because there it is. Dear Black Man by Carol Washington. I'm interviewing her coming up soon. Go purchase it. Go buy it. It's a must read. Um, it's raw. It's true. It's real. Um, these women wrote letters to men, uh, and I thanked them for that because when I read the book, it definitely moved me. It definitely made me question some things about my life as a man, first of all, and as a father, secondly. So it's a must read. Go get it, Dear Black Man by Carol Washington, and also I want to shout out to, Shift Happens. I went to go see the young ladies at their book signing, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was real. Man, trust me, you should have been there, man. You should have purchased the book, went there. Look, they signed it. Let me see if I can show you this. Come on. I'm on this. There it is. I think you can see it. I apologize, but they signed my book. We had a good time. They had a nice atmosphere. It was positive. I even got to meet the lady who owned the establishment that we're at. Unfortunately, I don't have her information because I definitely would give her a shout out too. Because I'm definitely going to go to where it's like a relaxation place. She has where you can get your feet detox. You can get your whole body detox. You get in this bag and she turns up the heat and you're laying there for 30 minutes or so and next thing you know, your body's cleaned out and you go home and take a shower and put on some clothes and I guarantee it, you're going to feel fresh, feel different, feel lighter. Uh, uh, you'll probably feel like a different person. Uh, so we're still waiting for her to call me back, and So I apologize for that. Um, Telling her to link back on link back on, so we can get this interview started. I mean, get it going and cracking. Guys, you know you know who I am, man. You've been rocking me for a little bit. I'm Tiger from 106 Keep It a Bean. Um, you know, I love these times, man. I love these therapy sessions, man. Mental health is it's real. It's you know, it's nothing to be ashamed of. If you need to talk to somebody, go talk to them. Uh, I can share something real quick with you guys, and when she links back on, uh, there was a time in my life, man. I think I was in my 30s. Kayla was little then. Robbie and Stasha, they were a little older than Kayla, but I I was getting beat up, man. It was like the universe picked me. I'm serious, man. It was like it didn't see nobody else but me, man. Nothing was working for me. My job was giving me hell. Child support was killing me. Every decision I made, it seemed like it knocked me back 2 or 3 spaces, man. Uh, you know, my surroundings, my environment, it was just too consuming, man. And I woke up one morning, man. I got my daughter ready for school. I sent her off to school, and because my mother and I, we lived in the same building, but we lived in different apartments. And I went down and knocked on her door. And I said, "Mom, I need you to watch your granddaughter." And I said, "Don't ask me no questions." And I left. And nobody believes this, man. I'm telling you the honest truth. If someone would have crossed me, if someone would have probably bumped into me, I probably would have tried to kill him. That's how angry I was. That's how it was crazy, man. And so I walked to, it's not there anymore, but it's called St. Francis Hospital. And I walked in there, and that white lady was sitting at the table. And I said, "Ma'am, I need to be in here." And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I need to be in there." She said, "You're harming yourself or others?" I said, "I don't know." And they grabbed me and they took me in there, man. And it was the best decision I could have ever made, man, because I slept for almost 24 hours. And then after that, I talked. And that's all I needed, man. I just needed to get that weight off my shoulders. You understand? And then, everything started to make sense again. Take one, take one step at a time. Deal with one battle at a time. Deal with one issue at a time. And that's what I began to do, man. And so I'm sharing that because don't be ashamed, man. Go talk to somebody because you know what the alternative is, man. And I guarantee you mean something to somebody, even if you don't think you do. You do. You mean something to somebody. So hang in there. Remember, you could talk to me, Tiger here at 106, keep it a being. Um, we'll listen to you, man. We'll chop it up. So hold on, guys. I'm still waiting for her to link back on because I can't hear her until she does that. Um, what else I wanted to share with you guys until? Is there anything? I'm going to my son's baseball game tomorrow. He transferred from Youngstown State to KU. So they play in the Wild Things Stadium in Washington, PA. So I'll be there tomorrow. I hope the rain holds on. Uh, go Vulcans. Go Sun. Go do your thing. We had a bad weekend. They lost 3 in a row. So they're at 500 right now. And it's time to turn it around, man. And it starts with uh, each player, one pitch at a time, one bat at a time, and one play at a time. So go Vulcans! I'll be there tomorrow at the Wild Thing Stadium. Uh, watching my son play. Hold on, guys. He's texting me. She's still, I guess, getting her phone together. Uh, so why do women settle for married men, and why do married men cheat? I mean, that's been going on for a long time. I'm pretty sure that question has been asked 1,000 times, man. Why do women settle for married men, and why do married men cheat? I guess why do women settle for married men? Well, women, you got to answer that question. Um, you guys got to answer that question. Why? Why do you settle for married men? Is it because of the convenience of it? Is it because he's got to go home to her, and then you got your time to do whatever it is that you want to do, and you also know that married men, uh, for the most part, they know how to treat a woman, if that makes any sense. Without, you know what I'm saying. In other words, you're probably gonna go out to dinner, you're gonna go to some plays or some movies, maybe travel a little bit. He's domesticated, if that means anything. If that makes any sense, I'm sorry. So, women, why? Why do you settle for married men? Why? You know, can somebody tune in or send a comment? And while I'm waiting for her, tell me, why do women settle for married men? And then why do married men cheat? I was married before, and I took my vows very seriously. But I can honestly say I was young. I wasn't ready for it. Didn't fully understand it. Uh, it was a mistake. When I look back in hindsight, should have never done it. Had nothing against her, the woman that I married. She was just as young as I was, and just as naive, and I think some people are more in love with the idea of being married versus actually being married. If that makes any sense. Uh, You know what I mean? Because that happened to me. She was in love with the idea of it, but she didn't want to put the work in. She didn't want to participate. She wanted to be on the sidelines. But tell everybody she's Mrs. Banks. Tell everybody she got a ring on her finger. Let everybody know she's married, but she didn't want what the responsibilities that came with it. So we dissolved it pretty quickly. Uh, but why do married men cheat? I would say probably because not satisfied at home. Uh, the wife uh, is no longer maybe doing some of the things that she used to do. Maybe she doesn't look the way she used to look. Maybe the communication isn't there anymore. Maybe the attraction isn't there anymore. And I'm not saying these things to justify it. Trust me. That I make that declaration. That disclaimer. I'm making my point. Uh, I'm not justifying. I'm just simply giving some reason to why married men cheat. It's all wrong on both sides. Uh, the married man is wrong, and the women who settle for him are wrong. Let's keep that a being. Um, so, but that's some of the reasons why I think uh, why married men cheat. But some men, you know, um, chime in, man. Make some comments and uh, tell me what you think. Um, I think women, if you settle for married men, but aren't you kind of cheating yourself? Aren't you? You know you're always going to be the side chick. You're never going to. Well, one thing people need to understand about marriage is this: you can call it an institution, you can call it man-made, you can say all the bad things that you want about it. I watched something yesterday saying that marriage is nothing more. The state is at the head of marriage, and the state joins with the husband, and then the state also enjoins with the wife, but the wife and the husband don't join at all. In other words, it's all ran and controlled by the state. Excuse me. Um, but one thing you can say about marriage is this: if something happens to one of you, the other one has some power, has some say so, has some input. Uh, you know, uh, because if you're not, and something happens to the other person, sometimes you ain't even allowed in the room to go see him. If the family say we don't want her, you can't come in, or we don't want him, you can't come in. So marriage does come with some perks. I hate to say it that way, but you know what I mean. And then also, if you believe in the Bible, then if you're going to be in a relationship, then that has to be the goal: is to take two worlds and blend them together and become one. And how do you do that? You do that under the sanctity of marriage. You do that under that umbrella. You do it with that. Um, so don't knock marriage. I think marriage is a wonderful thing. If it's two people who are going to work at it, uh, who are going to put the work in and the time in, you definitely got to have communication. You definitely got to have, because one thing you have to understand is the person that you marry, whenever you marry them, they're not going to be the same person 20 years from now or 30 years from now because you shift. Remember, we heard about that. The shift happens. Shift happens, remember? We heard about that. And so you're not going to be the same person. You're going to be somebody different. And you have to shift with them. You got to understand that. You got to learn that. You have to appreciate that. You got to be aware of that. That, you're going to change. They're going to change. You hear that term, you fell out of love. I guess there's some validity to that. I think a lot of that means that you don't talk anymore. You don't see each other the same way anymore. You don't, for whatever reason, that spark or that is not there. You know what I mean? Because the one thing I've always said, and I've said this on other episodes, I think you when you meet somebody, the love comes. I don't want to say quick, but the love is established first. I think the issue comes is, do I like this person? Do I like, what they do, how they move, how they dress? Do I like what they look out? Do I like what comes out of their mouth? Do I like the position they stand on whatever issue? Do I like them? It's hard to like people. It's easier to love them. That's just my opinion now. Uh, I think it's easy to love, but hard to like them. Because I think a lot of people would still be together, but they still love each other, but they just don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? They don't. And so, with that being said, I think it's easier to love than it is to like. And so, women, if you're settling for a married man, you have to understand that there's certain things that you're not entitled to. You have to understand that he's going back home to his wife, and if you're okay sharing spirits, I ain't even talk about the fluids. You're okay sharing spirits because she's a spirit and he's a spirit and you're a spirit. So now you guys are sharing three spirits. That's not good. I've been kind of standing on that and preaching that. I said that to, and I don't want to mention her name, but I was saying that to her quite a bit. I said, we can't share spirits, man. In other words, if you walking with me, you walking with me, there ain't no other spirits, bro. Because it's bad enough dealing with ours. And now you want to bring another spirit? No, 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 no. I can't handle that. You know what I mean? I don't care what my flesh wants. I can't handle that, bro. One spirit at a time is what I say. But let's get back to this. Why do women settle for married men? Why? You guys have to, um, you know what I mean? You guys have to have a reason why you do it. Why do you do it? Um, what is it? Come on, talk to me. Keep it a beat. Why do you do it? Why do you settle for married men? I mean, is it selfishness on your part because you understand that he only gonna get so much of your time, and then you got time to go play around with other spirits. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it a being, man. Come on, man. There's a lot going on in the world. They done played around. They done bombed Iran. told a lie why they did it. Because if you pay attention, I know I'm getting off topic, but I got to say this. If you pay attention, Trump bombed them last year in 2025, I think it was June, and made the statement that he was so proud that he knocked out their ability to be able to enrich uranium for about what 10, 15 years, he said. Now all of a sudden you bomb them a year later, not even a year later, and all of a sudden they got the capability. Come on, it doesn't work. Come on, make it make sense. Doesn't work. Excuse me. Excuse me. It doesn't work like that. You understand what I'm saying? To enrich uranium takes years, man. 10, 15, 20. Takes years because, like they said, I think they had about 60% enriched, but now you need it to bomb level or weapon level, you need it to 90. So come on, make it make sense, man. There's another reason why you bombed them. Let's keep it a bean, Trump. Let's keep it a bean, this Republican administration, presidential. Come on, let's keep it a bean. Tell us why you did it. And see, that's another thing that bothers me too. Why can't you just tell us the truth? Like we can't handle it. But let's get back to this. Why do women settle for married men? Why do you? Selling yourself short. You're never going to be entitled to nothing. You're sharing spirits. Um, there's a chance that the wife could find out and come and want to do something to you, put her hands on you, and she would be justified because you playing around with her husband. I don't see he's wrong too, but you wrong because you should be woman enough to say, nah, I'm good. You're attractive, nice looking man, but nah, can't. You understand what I'm saying? So why do you do it? You getting presents? What? Is it a notch on the belt? Come on, talk to me. What is it? What is it, women? Why do you settle for married men? You know, it's crazy, man. I'm getting off topic again, but I just feel compelled to talk about it. I post something on my Facebook page, and I said, hold on, let me get it. I said the church isn't the new Israel. God's covenant with Abraham is everlasting. Then I also said, I don't see it anymore. I said something about colored people. I said, oh, here it is. The colored people of this planet are the true Israelites. Period. Tell me another race that's hated, marginalized, or borrowers scattered throughout the earth and are stiff necked people. And I said, I'll wait. And then I shared it to some groups, a couple church groups, and now everybody want to beat me up. What people need to understand is listen to what I said. I said the colored people of this planet who are hated, who went through 400 years of slavery, who are everywhere. Niggas is everywhere. Do y'all hear what I just said? We're everywhere, bro. We're in Alaska. We everywhere on this planet. Not by accident, because that's part of the plan. We're everywhere. We're hated everywhere. We're mistreated everywhere. We're marginalized everywhere. And you can't say we're not a stiff-necked people. You know why? Because we'll follow anything and go anywhere when we know the truth. Who's that sound like? I'll wait. And I said that, and all these church people want to talk to me. They want to attack me. What I want them to understand is listen to what I text first. And second thing, they need to understand there's a thing called replacement theology. See, the church believes it took the place of Israel. It didn't. God made covenants with Abraham that will last forever. So the church didn't take the place of the Israelites. The church became plan B. Come on, walk with me. It became plan B. Just like if you think about the Genesis, there was a time when Adam and Eve walked with God. So there was no need for religion. There was no need for denomination. There wasn't no need for a building. You get me? So the church became plan B. So it wasn't part of the original plan. So how can the church replace Israelites? It's called replacement theology. And so many New Testament believers bought into that notion that they took the place. You didn't. Come on, learn scripture, hermeneutics, hermeneutics, do some studying. I've done it. I'm not here to bash anybody. Like I told him when I responded back, I didn't say you weren't part of the body of Christ. I never said that. I just said God is still dealing with the Israelites and you need to know who they are. Because right now they're asking questions. Is the reason why the United States supports Israel is because it's biblical. Now let me say this. They are not the true Israelites. Come on, man. They're the Zionists. Their families are from Ukraine and Russia and wherever else. They're not from Israel. Come on, keep it up, man. All right, stop. But let's get back on topic, bro. And I apologize for. I just felt I needed to say that. Um, you guys need to check my cousin out, man. He preaches every Friday, and he's taking Christianity back to his Judaic roots. What do you think Christ was? A Jew. Spoke Hebrew, Arabic. Come on, bro. His parents wasn't from Russia. His parents wasn't from Ukraine. And he didn't look like them. Come on, stop. I digress. I apologize. I just get so angry, man, because I'm passionate about it. You understand? Uh, let's get back to men. Why do women settle for married men? Come on, y'all. Somebody say something. You know, y'all not looking good right now. Why do you settle? There's all these men out here, and you want to be with somebody that's with somebody else. Does that make any sense? A lot of times, and this goes for me, and I've said this to my youngest daughter, sometimes be by yourself for a while. It's okay. You'll learn some things. You'll learn who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you're willing to tolerate, what you really, you know what I'm saying? Spend some time with you. It's okay. Because the last thing you want to do is keep playing around with these spirits. Some of them are good, bro. Some of these spirits are nasty. And I'm not talking, when I say nasty, I'm not talking about not clean. I'm talking about they're nasty. In other words, they're arrogant. They're ignorant. All they come to do is suck life out of you, bro. That's it. They ain't got no other assignment. They ain't got nothing else to do but to drain you. Stop playing, man. That's what I'm saying. So women, so you rather be with him than when you could be with somebody else to call your husband. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a bean. Tell me why you settle for it. I'm still waiting for somebody to comment, man. Tell me why women settle for married men. You see him sporting my new hat my dad gave me. You see what it got? That's Tiger, bro. That's Tiger from 106. Keep it a bean, man. Uh, I love you guys, man. I do. And then why did married man cheat, man? I kind of gave you my reasons that I believe. I'm pretty sure there's a gamut of others. Wife ain't doing what she's supposed to do at home. They're bored. Some people have. I hate to say it, but some people have agreements. Well, the wife said, "Well, hey, I ain't doing this, but you can go get it done out there." I mean, it's crazy, but it's true. Uh, there's people who marry and don't even sleep together. Sleep in two separate rooms. They're like two ships in the night. I think the only time they come together when it's time to copulate. You know what I'm saying? Keep it a bean. Um, what else would a married man cheat? I think um, I know for me, before I got married, I read a book, and I wish I could find it. I really, really do. It helped me out a lot. Uh, the book was entitled "Your Wife Is Not Your Mother," and that resonated with me because most men want to marry somebody like their mother, but you have to understand your wife is not your mother. Your wife is your helpmate. Your wife is there to help you, to edify you, to push you. She's also there to, um, if you have an idea, she'll give you 5,000, five other things to go with it. Maybe we should do this. Maybe let's try this. Five other ideas to go with your one idea. That's what she's supposed to do. That's her assignment. And if you can find somebody like that, and then you could, and you like them, man, better roll with them. Better walk with them, man. Because I always say I want somebody to walk with me. Walk with me. So if you walk with me, then you know what's going on. You know my condition. You know my position. You know when I'm in the storm, you right there with me because you're walking. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Married men, you shouldn't cheat. Same thing with you. You mixing spirits, and then you bringing the spirit home to the wife. Now they mentioned the fluids. I'm talking about the spirits. You bringing that home to your wife, and that spirit might not like your wife's spirit, and boom. That's why I say, man, no sharing spirits, bro. One spirit at a time, meaning you deal with one person at a time, not two, three, and four. One, because all them spirits come together, bro. This is why you think you can't mix drinks. They're called what? Spirits. You don't mix drinks because you get what? Keep it a bean, man. It ain't good. Telling you, man. you know, my cousin, man, she'll tell you when her and I, we was just at the Elks for her cousin's birthday party. And we were sitting there and we both looked at each other at the same time and said, man, there's some monsters in there. And I don't mean no disrespect to anybody. There's some monsters in there. I'm telling you, there's some monsters that you be around. Because they say some young lady posted something. I thought it was very powerful. She said it. Stop drinking. Stop going out. Stop doing smoke. Stop doing some of the things that you used to do. She said that's when you'll begin to find out most of the people that you hung around, you don't have nothing in common with them. Nothing. You ain't got but drinking and partying. You take that away, you don't have nothing in common with them. That's when you know how to clean house. Excuse me, I gotta drink some water, man. That's when you know who start trimming the tree, as I call it. Got to get rid of some people because you will never know that unless you gave up some things. If that makes sense. But married men, you're not right either. Like I said, y'all need to stop doing it. Here's my thing. Like the Miss Non-Judgmental saying before she got off the air, she said something like, "Why do a man in particular? Why would you keep playing around with a woman that you know you're not gonna marry? Stop. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to you because she could be somebody else's. You know what I mean? Paradise. But you playing around with her. No, you ain't taking her nowhere. You know what I'm saying. You know you ain't taking her to the promised land. You know you ain't jumping the broom. You ain't doing none of those things. Stop playing with her. You know, I think most of us need to do this. When you meet somebody, tell them right up front, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I like. Can you get on board with it? And if they can't, thank you for. I'm moving on because too many of us play games. You know darn well when you met her, you say, I ain't marrying her. And when she met you, she said, damn sure I ain't having no kids with this nigga. Nah, stop playing. Tell them from the door, it's a wrap. Because I'm telling you, if you're honest with people up front, yeah, they don't like it, but they'll respect it. And then now they know your position. They know where you stand. Okay, well, this cat ain't doing that. So if I choose to still mess with you, it ain't on you anymore. It's on me. Uh, Women, you need to stop settling for married women. I mean, married men. Uh, let me say this, man. I know I'm gonna catch some slack, but it is what it is. Let's keep it a bean. You know, more stuff, more things happen in church that that people want to admit. They see it, but they act like they don't see it. And I think that's why a lot of people don't want to go to church anymore. I know maybe COVID has something to do with it, and this is a sign of the times, and this is what's supposed to play out. And I get that, and I understand that. But remember, we always have the power to change anything. And why I believe that is because Hezekiah was supposed to die, but he asked God for some 20 years, and I think God gave him 25. So I think if you ask and you're in the right position, and it's according to His will, He'll give it to. So I think if we wanted to change the plot, change this thing that's going on, we could change. But what was I saying? So women, you need to stop serving for married men. I mean, for married men, stop. Just stop doing it. Uh, just stop doing it, man. You just can't. Hold on, guys. Somebody sent me up real quick. You know, uh, let's keep that a bean, bro. I'm telling you, stop doing it. Because here's the thing: how you going? You can't justify it. You can't go to court with it. You're disrupting a home. So what good is coming out of it? Remember they say judge thing by its fruit. So what good fruit is coming out of women settling for married men? And what good fruit is coming out of married men who cheat? Can't be no good fruit. So that's stop. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Why man? What's why man? Never heard of that. Let's do this real quick. Hold on, guys. While I do this, trust me, you'll be blessed because of it. Trust and believe. Why man? Oh, no. Come back. mymail.com. Hold on now. Did I do that right? Yeah, I think I did. Hold on. There you go. I'm back. I apologize for that, guys. I had to send somebody a link. Somebody wants to chime on and kick it with your boy. Uh, man, getting deep tonight, baby. We ain't playing. They ain't playing. You know, they following the script. Um, why can't we? You know what I'm saying? You see what my shirt say, King, playing around with y'all. Come on, man. Um, and wait, but why do women settle for married men? Why do married men cheat? See, the one thing about society, man, you know, society has always been was it favor men over women, and I'm going to do an episode. I found the clip. It talks about women are, in essence, women are God. Women are uh, more superior than men because everything to nature comes through what? The womb of a woman. There ain't no womb of the man. Everything that's born comes through a female. You know what I mean? Her egg, his sperm, and even in animal world, there ain't no two men making no bet. No two. It isn't. You know. And so, with that being said, this is for real, bro. And it was designed this way. This wasn't about this Darwinism that nature selected it. Stop, man. I'm not saying nature is not that clever, but it just nah. It just what trust and believe, man. Um, but women stop, men stop. Do better. You know, remember you could be. Remember, see, being attracted to somebody is not a bad thing. Just don't act on it. Let's try this again. She's hitting me back real quick. Hold on, guys. And I apologize. This doesn't typically happen. But they say when one door closed, another one open. You know, you know. Uh, I son it. I'm gonna do it again. Hold on. This is Gmail email. Let's do this again. To what is it again? K Turner. KTURNER. K Turner 83 at Ymail. That's what she said. I signed it. Boom. Said us. So, I apologize for that, guys. But comment, man. Somebody leave a comment. I know somebody watching. I keep telling you, I drop spiritual nuggets, man, all the time. I don't mean to. It just happened. Uh, and I think when you've been around here 60 years, you've seen some things, heard some things, and so and you never know everything. That's one of the things. My friend Austin taught me, man. He said, I don't care how much this is how much you may know or not know or have knowledge of, but there's a whole world out here with more knowledge and understanding that we have to get to, that we have to you know um, attain. So don't think you know everything. I don't care how many books, how many PhDs, how many letters you got behind your name. There's still something to learn, bro. Just like when they built the Tower of Babylon, they thought they could reach God. Stop. You know what I mean? They thought they could reach God. Don't play with the man that created man. All right, let's get back. Settle? Why do women settle for married men? Stop, man. You know what I mean? Stop. You know. Stop. Please stop. I did it again. Add gas. It's not a Gmail. It's an email. Send a copy. And I did K Turner. KT URNER 83. She said at Ymail. Never heard of it. There you go, baby. It's right there. I sent it. Sent it again. Um, you know, they gotta stop, man. You women, y'all have to stop, men. You gotta stop. We have to do better. And what I no, that's what I was saying. I mean, it's okay to be attracted to somebody, just you can't act on it. Even the Bible goes as far as says that that's a sin. But it's called covetousness. You coveted another man's wife, or another woman's husband, or another man's possession. So yeah, I don't know. It won't send it to her. I don't know. This is crazy. I'm gonna try it. No, but it's got to say Gmail. Actually, she got a Gmail. But yeah, man, you got to stop. You gas is about to go up. You know, Iran's talking about cutting off access to the Strait of Hormuz. I think it's called. And I think if I know my data correctly, I think 90% of the oil that goes through there is for China, or a good bit of it's for China. So they upset. Ah, hold on, y'all. We might have her. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Hold on. Here she go. KTURNER. K Turner 83 at Gmail. Cause you know what I'm gonna do, bro. We going oh, what else done? We're gonna I'm gonna edit this thing up, and you know that. So man. So I apologize, and I haven't done 51 minutes in a long time, but back I do, man. But I'm dropping some jewels, bro. I always do. Like I said, it just happened, bro. You've been like I said, I've been here 60 years, bro. Grateful and thankful every day I wake up. Because I said this on one of my episodes, man. Death is taking people out here like it knows where they're going, like it knows their assignment or something. And so it's crazy, man. So you got to be grateful and thankful every day that you wake up, bro. That's why I tell people all the time, man, stop playing around. If you get an opportunity to be around your family, be around them. Or be around somebody you care about, be around them. 'Cause you never know, bro. You never know. And Deaf don't care. You think Deaf is sitting there crying? No, Deaf got something to do, bro. It's got an assignment and it's carrying it out. So, man, be grateful and thankful, man. That's why, women, you want to settle for a married man, you playing around, go live your life with somebody. Everything that you can get from him, you can get from somebody. And from her, and for the man, if you're having problems at home with your wife, talk to her. I think a lot of times we don't know each other's love language. That's another thing. You got to learn the love language of the other person. And your love language might change as you get older. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man. We got to do better. Uh, you know, I remember my best friend's father always told me, God bless his soul. He said, if you want to know what your wife's going to look like, look at her mom. She's not going to look at, you know what I'm saying? If you want to know what she's going to look like in 20, 30 years from now, look at the mom. And if you're okay with what the mom look like, then you'll be okay with what your wife look like. Come on, keep it a bean, baby. Um, talk to your wife. Tell her, hey, baby, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that. Can we get back to what we used to be? You know, can we, maybe we need to have some counseling. Maybe we need to take a trip. Uh, maybe we might need to part for a second. Not to go be tiptoeing in somebody else's backyard. I'm just talking about this some space. You know what I'm saying? So that's come on, Mary, man. Cause see, the one thing that we all have to understand that marriage is that triangle is God's at the top and both of you are at the other corner. Remember that a triangle has 90 degrees, angles. So the wife has to understand who's at the top. The husband has to stand who's at the top. And then they both have to understand each other. You got to play your role. I always said to my baby mama, don't step on my toes, and I won't step on yours. You know what I'm saying? In other words, I'm gonna be the father, you be the mother, and we good. Don't step on mine, because I'm not gonna step on yours. Meaning, anything that you and I agree upon, and you're the woman of that decision, and I'm the man of that decision, I'm gonna respect it. So our kids can't come to me and say, "Well, I know what mom said, but you the father." No, bro. You heard what we said. You're not gonna break this up. You're not gonna can't supersede this court, bro. Because kids will manipulate the hell out of you. So um, you got to be straight up, man. This united front, and that's one thing. I was grateful and still grateful that my last two kids' mom. That's our relationship, man. We don't like each other all the time. I may say something or she may say something, or I might rub her the wrong way and vice versa. But at the end of the day, our love for each other is tied to the love to our children, if that makes any sense. We still love each other, but our love is tied to our children. And like I told her, I'm grateful and thankful. I said, when God blessed me with a windfall, if I win the lottery for lottery, she getting half. I don't care who I'm with. And I've said it to people I've been in a relationship with. I said, when I hit this lottery for millions and millions of dollars, she getting half. So you can be angry, get mad, you can pout, do whatever. It ain't gonna change what I gotta do. Because she was there for me, when I couldn't be there for myself. You know what I mean? When I had my surgery, they was talking about, um, you know, you can go to a nursing home. I said, you ain't going up down nursing home, bro. Crazy. She took me in. She didn't have to. And I'm grateful and thankful for that. So it's crazy, man. So you know what I mean? Let's keep it a bean, man. Come on, man. Somebody comment, man. You getting all these jewels. We having our therapy session. No nobody want to talk to me? Nobody want to comment? What? That's crazy. That don't even make sense. Might be in your spam. Um, I gotta drink some more water. I'm getting these. I'm getting this all this junk up out of me, man. Yeah, I'm about to do a 7-day detox. I drink some tea that, thanks to my cousin, that gets rid of the parasites or the bugs that's in us. I'm gonna do the 7-day detox. Um, I'm 6 years old. I know I done accumulated some garbage, and it needs to go. And so wish me well. Uh, I want to say, Lisa, sorry for you losing both your parents in such a short time. Um, I guess uh, there are no words that are going to comfort you and your brother and Rhonda and your family and your grandkids, and um, there are no words. In times like this, I know for me, when my mom left, I didn't want to hear anything from anybody. Not about that anyway. We could have talked about frisbees, because there's nothing you can say that's going to comfort me. Comfort me. There's nothing you're going to say that make it make sense. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to change the situation. So I don't even want to hear it from. So, so there are no words that can comfort you guys, but I'm going to try. The best thing I could say is this: they're happy now. meaning they're no longer their body, they're no longer subjected to their body, the sickness in it and the disease in it. They're free of it. So trust me, they're happy. They miss you, y'all, but they're free of that sick body. And so be grateful and thankful for that and hold on to that. Hold on to those memories. Because I talk about my mom. We used to talk about my mom yesterday. Uh, how crazy my mother was. I think about her all the time. She's on my wall. I got all these pictures on the wall. She at the top, and everybody's around her, man. Because it wasn't for her and my father, nobody on that wall would be here. None of them. You know what I'm saying? I remember I'm going to do an episode on that one time. Talk about uh, uh, hey, I know what I'm gonna do. No, no, no. I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, man. But man, I keep getting sidetracked, and I apologize. But Lisa, yeah, and Rhonda, hold on to that. Um, it's 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 the most comforting thing that I can say. Um, because there are no words that will comfort you. And I didn't know your father that well, but I knew your mom. That's my girl. I'll definitely miss her. I'll miss her and our our frank talks, and she was tough on me, but she loved me, and I respect that. Family's everything, man. And when you lose a mother, losing a father is bad. But when you lose a mother, uh, there's nobody on the planet, nobody that love you like her. Man, that's a hard spill, hard pill to swallow. Hold on, guys, man, I gotta go. So this was part time. Trust me. Part one. Trust me. I'm coming back with Slim. We're gonna do a part two of why do women settle for married men. So please stay tuned. I hope you like part one. So here comes part one. You know what I always say, man? Be true to yourself. Be true to him. Walk with purpose. More importantly, walk with love. This is Target from 106. Keep it a beat. I love y'all, man. I'm out.